What do you do at an open house? Today, I wanted to talk to you about the way you can approach an open house if you are house hunting. And I have done probably about 20 open houses in the past 3 months, and I have a lot of insights on that. So I wanted to share with buyers out there, and even those of you who are selling their home, kind of what goes down in an open house and how you can approach viewing a house or getting your house ready for an open house. So if you are the buyer, where do you find open houses? Well, first of all, you may have a particular area that you're looking for. So you want to drive around the night before, the evening before, because they'll put signs out the day before in your neighborhood to find out, where they're going to be in the neighborhood you're looking. But you can also look in Facebook groups and, just tag the city, open houses in Greater Charlotte, open houses in Providence, open houses in Indian Land, open houses wherever you're looking, open houses North Carolina, South Carolina. Because when I do an open house, I'll usually post in 9 different open house groups like that. And if you have realtor friends, they'll be posting on Facebook, so you may see them run across there. And if you're working with a realtor, then it's probably pretty easy to find them. I believe you may be able to find them on Zillow and sites like that as well. But once you get to the open house, here's what you can do. Now, if you are represented, still sign in on that realtor's sign-in sheet. Let them know, I already have an agent. They may give you their business card and they may say, hey, can I contact you to give my information? You can share it with your agent. So if they have any questions about the viewing, I can remind them of things we talked about, and I'll send you a walkthrough video of the house in case you forgot any pockets, and I can also give you the listing agent's info. If you do not have an agent, and definitely always sign in on their sign-in sheet. It's brutal to skip that part. And listen, I understand, because I don't like getting contacted for anything. So I'm definitely probably the prime person who would not sign in. However, when you're signing in, the realtor who is showing the house at the open house is almost never the actual listing agent. Now, the listing agent is the person who represents the seller of the house. And the reason that they usually don't represent is because if they're representing the seller and you come in without an agent and need an agent, then if that realtor represents both of you, you lose that negotiation power because she has to play neutral, even Steven. So it's best to have 2 separate realtors. Now, it's fine if they're in the same brokerage. That's usually what happens because they'll ask someone in their brokerage. We have 350 realtors in ours. And that is called dual agency designated agent, which means it's the same brokerage, but you have 2 different agents. Then you can negotiate. It actually makes things a lot easier with getting the paperwork done and closing done and all of that kind of stuff. It really shortcuts a lot of that when they're in the same agency. So that's a positive. Now, when you sign in, give them your email, give them your phone number. And if you are hesitant to be reached out to, tell them that. Don't give a fake email and a fake number, because then we're messaging people that don't need to be messaged. But I will usually follow up and I'll say, hey, it's me organically, not through some drip, just me personally emailing. And I always do a walkthrough video and I'll be like, here's the house if you had any other questions, and let me know if you need the lender. And I usually don't touch back unless someone has some interest and they're like, hey, I really need an agent. But I might, if I'm doing another house that I'm like, I remember these people and I think this house would interest them. Of course, the agent showing, they want to be your agent. Every realtor you meet wants to be your agent. But the last thing we want to do is come off like rabid agents, because we also get it. You can throw a rock and hit 3 agents anywhere you're standing. So we don't want to overwhelm you, and it is your choice. It's a personal choice. Sometimes your best friend might be an agent, but you don't think of them, and you bump into someone in the grocery store and they're like, oh, you need a realtor? I'm a realtor. And you go with them, and then your friend's like, what happened? It's the story of a realtor. So it's a game on our side. It's a game on your side. But at the end of the day, it is your choice, and we all get it. When people come through with an open house and they're unrepresented, we're going to do our best to make ourselves look good and earn your business. But overwhelming someone and over communicating is not the best way to do that. So feel free to discuss your preferences. Now, you'll want to ask a lot of questions too. I like to give people space to walk around by themselves, but I also like to follow them a little bit to show features and answer questions or point out specific things like, notice the floors, they just refinished them last year and there's a new roof and a new AC. Come in the backyard because it's all the way fenced in. You can't see the back behind the trees, but it is. And so I'll point things out. And a lot of times people have questions, but they don't think of them unless they're looking at the thing they have questions about. So sometimes a realtor may follow you around and sometimes they may give you space. I like to do a little bit of both, and a little bit of is a read of how I feel they're feeling. And sometimes when people look excited about a house, I'll share some features, I'll introduce myself, I'll have them sign in, and I'll be like, hey, make sure you check out the master bath, and at the end of the hall with the bigger spare bedroom, that you check out that bathroom too, because it's pretty spectacular. But I want to give you two some space, because when they get excited, they want to whisper to each other and say, hey, we might be able to live here. And I don't want to interfere with that authentic ability to communicate with each other on your thoughts. So a little both. And never be afraid to communicate to the realtor there, hey, do you mind if we look around? Now, some realtors may follow you the entire time because they follow everybody the entire time. There are people that steal. Sometimes we get alerts that there are people going around opening medicine cabinets and looking inside stuff. So we, as realtors, are alerted to make sure you stay with your clients. Make sure you stay with customers when they're walking through. And even when that's the case, I still like to kind of give them breathing room. So if they're following you around, don't take it personally. Sometimes it's just the order of operations for what's going on. And again, don't be afraid to communicate. Now, if you are the seller, make sure when there's an open house, you are out of there. It is clean as a whistle, and you leave any instructions that are important. Don't let them in the garage. This door is locked. Don't open it. Don't open the back door. You kind of want to be a yes to all of those things. You want them to see all of those things, but sometimes people will not be moved out yet. They'll have a bunch of messy stuff in a room and boxes, and they're like, I don't want them to see in there, but there's pictures online. You've got to give the instructions. I think the biggest one is shoes, no shoes. Now, when people do no shoes, we give them little booties and things to put on over their shoes, or they'll walk around barefoot, and I usually will take my shoes off as soon as I get there. Sometimes, every single time I sweep up after everything. I sweep everything up. So if people do wear shoes inside, then I am definitely cleaning up. I'm not leaving a trace behind. But I do ask them to take them off, and people always comply. So it's not that big of a concern. When you have moved out and there's no furniture in the house, you're not going to want to hear this, but I cannot tell you enough how valuable it will be for you to get it staged. You should stage the house. Some people will tell you, oh, well, an empty house lets you visualize their stuff in it. No, you want them to see a lifestyle. You want them to be like, look at this place. Imagine how good my stuff would look in here. I love that artwork. I love everything. And good stagers will actually have tags on furniture that the people purchasing the home, if they decide to, can actually buy the staged furniture that is in there. But your house will sell more quickly when it is properly staged. Listen to me closely. Listen to your realtor when she talks about comps and the value of your home. Buyers have a very personal idea of how much their home is worth. It may be worth that much, but it's only worth as much people are willing to pay for it in the market, as the market is, as it stands in that moment, which changes frequently. So when people go, but I want a price high because my house is worth it, so we're going to go to the top end, and the realtor's like encouraging you to go, like, if we price just under, it can create a bidding war and you'll get your price. Now, when people price just under, they may get that just under asking price, or a little bit more or a little bit less. But if you price too high, it's going to be on the market for a week or two, and then you're going to have to drop the price, which will be under the suggested value before you priced up. The one that would have been on the lower end would have been higher than that dropped price. And you frequently will have to drop one or two more times after that. So I highly suggest, even if it hurts, that you go with your realtor's suggested price. You may challenge them, ask thoroughly, ask them to show you the comps, ask them to explain why. The decision is yours. So don't be afraid to override the realtor's decision, but listen to what they have to say and trust your gut, go with your instinct, and go with, do you trust this realtor? It's so important that you feel like they have it handled and they have done their market research for the actual time that your house is on the market. I hope this helps. And if you're one of those walking through that open house, ask all those questions. Days on market are a little bit longer right now on the day I'm making this video in the greater Charlotte area. There's pockets where there's not, there's pockets where they're longer, and you got to get a good realtor that's going to help you price it right. And you got to get a good realtor that's going to help you negotiate, because the realtor may not have their client may not have priced it right. And that gives you some negotiating power. So enjoy your open houses. I'll see you there. Thanks for listening. And hey, if you're unrepresented, I'm Brittany Olson and I'm your realtor. Have a great day.